You're right everyone, I'm Alex Jones and today we're going to talk about how to hardcode subtitles into your videos. So 9 times out of 10, YouTube generated captions are fine. They're not perfect, but they do the job well enough that you've never thought to add your own subtitles. But we've all been there, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram stories, and we've come across a video that looks great, someone's talking, but we have no idea what they're saying because we don't have our headphones on us and for whatever reason we can't turn the volume up on our phone. So that's where hardcoding subtitles comes in to save the day. There are a couple of different types of subtitles. Today we're going to be talking about open captions. Closed captions are the ones that you can turn on and off, so they're like your typical YouTube video. There's also open captions, which is what we're going to be looking at, which are hard-coded into the video, so they can't be removed. They are part of the video itself. This video is going to be for Premiere Pro. If you use any other software, I don't know how to help you. Maybe try Googling it. And also this only works on newer versions of Premiere Pro. So let's go and have a look and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so now we're in Premiere Pro. This is the version of Premiere Pro that I'm using. It's the latest version. So if you're not running the latest version, it's time to think about upgrading. So with your project open, you're going to come down to your project window, you're going to right click, new item, and captions. If this option isn't here, and captions isn't available in the software version that you're using, so maybe it's time to think about that upgrade. New window is going to pop open. With here you want to make sure that you've got open captions selected. Other than open subtitling, the other ones are all closed captions. That has a limit in the style choices that you have for each one. So choose open captions. You're going to want to make sure that the time base matches your clip, in this case 24 frames a second. And the video settings are set to the same as your project. In this case I'm doing a vertical video for an Instagram story, so this is the aspect ratio that I'm using. And leave pixel aspect ratio to square pixels. Click OK, and you're going to have a new item come into your bin called open captions. If you don't already, make sure you have a spare track at the top of your video and drag your caption across over to the top and extend it to the full width of your project. Now we're going to want to look at the captions window. If you can't see that, go up to window and then down to captions. So now you've got the blank caption box open. Make sure your captions item is selected and press the plus sign here. I typically try and add one caption section for each sentence that I'm reading, so there's not too much text on the page at any one time. In the case of this video here, I know that I'm going to need 5 caption sections, so I'm just going to go ahead and add in all 5 in one go just by pressing this plus sign at the bottom. It'll automatically add timestamps to each one, but we're going to go ahead and adjust that in a minute. So there's a couple of ways that you can adjust each of your captions to start and finish at the right times. You can move these black bars to wherever you want them to be and pull the end tabs to make them longer or shorter. And you can do that with each of the black bars individually. They don't have to touch, so you can have a gap between your captions. What I prefer to do, I prefer to add in the text that I'm using and then add in the timestamp for when they're going to start and when they're going to finish directly into the caption. Now I've already typed out the captions I'm going to use, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste them all across into the right sections. Okay, so now that we've got all the text in, we just need to line it up with when I'm actually saying the text. So like I said, you can either come to each one of these and pull the end tabs to where we think they're going to need to go, and then keep playing back the audio until they're aligned correctly. This is This has definitely been a challenging year to plan a wedding. So I've done the first two like this. With the next ones, I prefer put the timestamps directly into the caption. So I'm going to play this section, find out when it stops, check the time code, and type that in. Whilst you may not be planning the dream wedding you had as you were growing up. So here we've got hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. So in this case we've got 9 seconds, 04. And you'll see when we hit return, the black bar extends out. We then have the next section obviously starts at the same time and plays out. There are a lot of positives in adding a smaller one. Until 11:12. So go down to here, type in 11:12. With the last one it's quite easy, goes all the way to the end and we just drag this to meet. Now all of the captions align with the voiceover, but you can see that the captions are tiny and they're useless where they are at the moment. So if we put across onto the first one, captions are currently tiny right across the top of my head. So make sure that the right caption is selected. And then in this section, you can use these 9 boxes to align where you want. In this case, I want them pretty much smack bang in the middle, above the pictures so they're not blocking those, and across the dark part of my chest. If you want to fine tune where in the frame your captions are going to fall, you can just click and drag sideways on here and it will move the x-axis there and the y-axis just there, so you can fine tune exactly where they're going to go. In this case, I just want it straight in the middle. We use open captions so that we have more control over the way that they look. Closed captions have set styles and you can't change the style or the colours too much. With open captions, there's a lot more flexibility. So in this case, I have a font I'm going to use called the Light font. Now for some reason, and I haven't quite worked out why yet, Premiere Pro does split the fonts into 2 distinct groups. I don't know why that is, so just make sure that you're in the right section. You've got this top section here where all my Adobe fonts are kept. But if you scroll down, you see it starts again around here, and I don't know why that is. So I've set the font how I want it, and you can also adjust the size by sliding here, or you obviously can go in and you can type. In this case, I'm going to want the font to be about 75. Now, while my font is now the right size, it's going off the edge of the screen, so I'm just going to find the right place to put a return, and we're going to get that right. Again, I'm not a massive fan of the alignments. What I'm going to do is just go over here and center align it. It's also now not quite in the right place where I want it. So I'm going to highlight all of the text, go over to the x-axis and just knock it down just a little bit. Okay, so now it's center aligned and that's much better. So now with the text aligned how we want, we can further tweak the styles. Make sure that all of the text is selected. If you come across, you can underline it, you can add a musical note if you want. This is probably the most important part, the background color. So if you select background color, you can either click this little box next to the dropper and choose any color that you want from here. In this case, I think we're going to go for just a really dark grey and click OK. Or if you click and drag the dropper, you can drop it onto any part of the image and change the color to suit. But in this case, we're just going to go very dark grey. Next one along, this little 0, this is the opacity of the background. So at the moment opacity is 0, so you can't see it. Go all the way to 100%. The text then has a solid black background, but I don't want that. I want to go probably around 80%. That's much better. You can also do the same with the text color. So come to this little T, text color, click that. Again, make sure all of your text is aligned. Currently the text is white. If we want to turn it, in this case, I'll probably want it just a kind of a light grey. We want to go a lot lighter than that. The light grey there, and that changes that, and you can do whatever color you want. Again, you can also use the dropper. You can change the edge color too, selecting the T next to the text color, and again you can either use the dropper or you can select a color from the color picker. And if we go red here with 100% transparency, you can see it just outlines the text. Obviously this would be different depending on what kind of typeface you've gone for. In this case it's really thin and I'm not a fan of the look, so I'm just going to turn the opacity down to 0. You can now work your way down the list, making sure that you've got all of your text aligned. So move the playhead to the next slot, make the same changes. Add in your returns, select all, put it in the middle. So I'm just going to drop it down a little bit, add the background color back in, make it nice and dark. That's how it is. 80% opacity. And there we are. And just work your way down each of the captions, adding in the styling as you choose. I prefer to do it this way because as you go through the video, each caption will need to be aligned slightly differently, and you may need to change the background color slightly just so that it's more visible as each frame changes. But also if you add each caption line one by one, so in this case if we delete all of these, delete these next ones, if you select the caption above and click add, it'll add another caption line with the settings from above, so you can put your text back in and it'll automatically have the same style settings. So that way all you have to do is go in, add your returns to make everything line up properly, and then make any micro adjustments and pull the caption out so it's as long as it needs to be. Once you're done, go to File, Export Media. Once the export settings pop up, come across to the Captions tab and make sure you have Burn Captions into Video. Once you've done that, your video file will have the subtitles burnt directly into the video, ready to upload wherever you need. That's it for today, guys. If you've got any questions or comments, or if there's an even easier way that you found to add captions onto your video, I'd love to know. Drop a little comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. It would also mean a lot to me if you can subscribe and hit the notification bell down below on the odd occasion that I decide to upload a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Peace. How does he do that? Peace.